Ooh. It's horse beef here. How's it going, everybody? And today what I wanted to do is something a little fun. I wanted to theorize about how I would dethrone each champion in the UFC currently holding a belt. So no Tom Aspinall, unfortunately. So we'll be actually considering Jon Jones as the heavyweight champ, even if he doesn't deserve it. But he technically is the undisputed heavyweight champion, so we have to treat him as such in this context. But yes, I'm gonna go through each champion in the UFC besides the female ones because I'm about 175 pounds. I fluctuate between 170 and 180 is my general weight range. So I'm significantly larger than even the biggest woman on the roster, and I would fancy myself to be able to impose my natural gender based advantages over them. So we're not going to theorize on that. I don't want to tell you about how I would beat up Weili Zhang or Juliana Pena for that matter, because that would just be weird. So we're going to leave that out of it. I'm going to go through the male champions one by one by one. And I haven't really even given this much thought. So let's just get into it. And by the way, I will be gone for a few days. I'll be out of town for like 3 to 4 days. So after this video is uploaded, you won't get another one until between Wednesday and Thursday. Then I'll be posting some more MMA based, like real meat and potatoes of MMA content, Jon Jones Stipe predictions. I also would like to give my take on the top 15 GOAT list as things stand right now as well, because I know Lucas Tracy made a pretty interesting one a few days back, so I'd like to give my own take on that. But for now, let's just enjoy this fucking weird video. And yeah, I'm being 100% serious about all of this, by the way, 100% serious, just to let you guys know there is not even an inch of sarcasm going on here. And just to show you guys that when it comes to fighting, I at least have decent technique, in case you guys couldn't discern which one was me. I am the one with Peter Yan over his face, obviously to keep my anonymity strong, but at the same time, like, I don't look much different than Peter Yan. In fact, I got cosmetic surgery just the other week so I could look even more like Peter Yan. So by looking at Peter Yan, you're pretty much looking at me. I'm the same person. And that was me about a year ago. I think around that time I was like 185-ish range. Nowadays I'm around like 170 to 180, like I said. But you might not think I'm a great fighter, because obviously I'm not a great fighter. That was just literally garage spars to get through COVID. That's why we started this whole thing. That's why we began doing that type of shit. But I do have some classical training. I've trained in Muay Thai. That was, I mean, I guess I can't say that was my first exposure to combat sports, because as a kid, obviously, like a lot of kids are putting karate, and I was putting karate, taekwondo as well. But then as I got older, I started taking Muay Thai classes, kickboxing, boxing. Just recently, early this year, late last year, I was actually training for an amateur boxing bout just for fun, though, but it didn't actually materialize into anything. So by no means am I saying that I'm a great fighter, because a lot of what I know, a lot of my technique actually is just self-taught, just from me repeating the same technique over and over and over again in my basement for so long. Like, that's where a lot of the technique actually comes from. But I do have training to go along with it, so I'm not just talking out of my ass. But at the same time, don't think that any of this means that I think that I could actually put a beating on a UFC champion. But at the same time, like I said before, there's no sarcasm here, and I do think that I would dethrone every single one of these champions, dude. Every single one of them. So let's get into the first one up, and that is Alexandre Pantoja. Pantoja's a small guy, like I said, man. I'm around like 175 right now, so I'm about a welterweight range. If I was to fight in the UFC, I'd probably cut down to like 155, maybe even 145 to be a real weight bully here. But Pantoja would have to meet me, in the middle somewhere, like around 150, like catch weight region, and I would just fucking beat him up. This guy would think that he could walk forward and eat all my shots. No. With that big size advantage, I'm putting hands on him, and I think I'm taking him out in the first round. I really do think I'm making easy work out of what was a tough job for every other pretty much top-ranked flyweight out there who has gotten the chance to fight Pantoja, who couldn't crack that chin. I'm cracking that chin, man. Usyk couldn't do it. Oh, I'm doing it. Royval, Brandon Moreno, they put hands on him. They couldn't do shit. They couldn't even rock him, stun him, nothing. I'm putting him out in the first round. 100%, dude. I'm just too big for him. I'm too 260 for him, to be completely honest with you guys. And then I'm going to get into Merab Dvalishvili. Now, how would I beat him? Now, his cardio would be a tough one to match. 100%, he's tough. He could take some shots, and he's a little bigger than Pantoja. But at the same time, all I would have to do to beat Merab Dvalishvili is get him to quit. How would I do that? I'm walking out. Imagine that. I'm walking out. I'm wearing an Umar mask, right? A very, very realistic Umar Nurmagomedov mask. And he's sitting there. He's in the back. He's watching me walk out. He's like, what is these guys? He no deserve this. You know, he sees Umar and then he's like, no. Sean O'Malley deserve this chance, not Umar. And then he just quits. He doesn't even walk out. He refuses because he thinks I'm Umar. And he's a bit retarded. You know, he's not the sharpest tool in the shed. So I believe I could fool him just enough. I could fool him into quitting. You know what I mean? And just refusing to walk out. And I would beat him by that. Then post-fight speech, I take off the mask, I reveal myself. Haha, I've done it. I've won. That would just be the most beautiful, beautiful outcome of all time. I think that's how I would get him. I would just simply fool him into refusing to fight. Ilia Topuria. Now, of all the champions, this is probably one of the toughest ones to really come to a conclusion on because he's just so good. Right, he's just so good. I think what I would do it would be invite him to the middle, get him to throw, and then I would probably just like sneakily eye poke him. I think a little eye poke right off the bat because as you guys know, like, even if it's clear as day, intentional eye poke, even if you're like raking your hands out there, sticking your fingers literally directly in front of his eyes, I would get him with the most brutal eye poke we've ever seen in our lives. But because he's a tough man, He would probably continue to fight. He'd be seeing double though, and then I'd get him in the other one, right? I poke him in the other eye. Then I finally get the point deduction. But I'm thinking, we got 4 more rounds to go after this, right? So I just have to get past this first round. He's seeing double in both eyes now. He's walking around, and then next thing you know, I'm piecing him up because he can't see shit. You know what I mean? Because he's just too tough. He has too much pride. His ego is too big to quit, even though he can't see shit. But he can't see anything, so I'm putting hands on him and I'm knocking out Ilia Topuria. I'm thinking like the 4th round, that blurred vision. He'll be swinging and missing. Everyone's wondering, what the fuck's going on, man? What the fuck's going on? I'm piecing him up is what's happening, right? I'm hitting him with the Weidman special, pretty much is what I'm telling you. There will be replays showing that I eye poked him. Nobody will care though, because I got the win over Ilia Topuria. Who cares if it was via cheating? Jon Jones made a career off of it. Let's go, baby. Islam Makhachev, I would say similar, very, very similar strategy to that of Ilia Topuria, because I just don't really see him as someone that I could beat skill for skill. I mean, of course, I don't think I could beat any of these champions skill for skill, to be completely honest. Of course not. But Islam Makhachev, I think, similar outcome here. I would hit him with early eye pokes, take the point deduction, and then just steamroll him going forward. Once the lack of vision really sets in, I'm able to get a head of steam on him. Then I would take him out. Belal Muhammad, now this is kind of a tough one, but the threat on the feet isn't really there. Like, I understand that Belal Muhammad is a UFC welterweight champion, but he does not worry me at all with his hands or his striking. Really, at all I would worry about is the grappling, right? So I'd have my hands real low, ready to defend the hips at any given moment, get ready to get those hips down, right? Every time he comes in range, I'm sticking the fingers out there. I'm giving him PTSD because that Leon Edwards eye poke in their first fight, and I'm going back to the eye pokes again, but this one's different because Belal Muhammad would get PTSD from that, right? I'm raking him in the eyes. I'm not quite eye poking him though, but I'm putting the threat of the eye poke out there. Right, so he's scared, and he starts shaking, he starts shivering, he starts getting PTSD, like Vietnam type flashbacks, and he's fucking freaking out. Like, he doesn't know what to do. He's acting all antsy, he's acting all frantic. End of the first round, he goes back to his corner. He's saying, man, I don't know what's going on, dude. His corner's trying to psych him back up. He comes out, I'm back to it again, right? And it gets to the point where he just quits on the stool, I feel, because I'm just worrying him so much. I'm bringing back such negative memories to the point where Belal Muhammad, mentally, he's just not in that fight anymore, and he can no longer continue, and that's about it, dude. So I would dethrone Belal Muhammad like relatively easily, I guess. Like, now that I'm thinking about it, he might actually be the easiest one to dispatch out of all these champions. Then we get into the middleweight champion of the world, Dricus du Plessis. How do you beat somebody who has plot armor? How do you do it? How do you beat the Drunken Master? You have to match his energy. I'm throwing windmills, punches. I'm swinging all over the place. I'm spinning inexplicably. I'm doing everything that you should not be doing, and it's gonna work against Dricus, because Dricus is used to his opponents trying to fight him all clean, precise, and then he just lands a random Donkey Kong shot on the temple, drops you, chokes you out. That's all she wrote. Right? That's usually how Dricus du Plessis fight goes. I'm doing random shit, man. I'm throwing somersaults. I'm doing cartwheels. I'm doing all types of shit. I'm throwing out Imanari rolls. I'm giving Dricus du Plessis so much to worry about to the point where he doesn't even know what to do. Right? He's tripping over his legs. I'm tripping over his legs as he's tripping over his legs. I'm doing everything that he does. Donkey Kong on ice skates. I'm matching all that energy, and it'll all come to this boiling point, right? The culmination of all my hard work. He will throw an overhand. I'll duck it. Stick my leg out. He'll trip over my leg. Okay? Right? He's on all fours right now. He's trying to get back up. I'm taking his back and I'm choking him out. That's it. I'm making him trip over himself, and then I'm taking his back and I'm choking him out after the most random MMA fight you've ever seen in your entire life. That would be this fight right here. And that's the only way to beat Dricus du Plessis. Otherwise, he's knocking me out clean in the first 10 seconds, But no, I would beat Dricus du Plessis. Of course I would. And then we get into Alex Pereira. This is a tough one, but if there's any weakness that Alex Pereira has, it's that toe. It's the big toe. So you know what I'm doing, man? I'm throwing an Imanari roll right off the bat. Do I know how to throw one properly? Absolutely not. Absolutely not. I don't know how to do it, but I'm not vulnerable on the ground, right? He could ground and pound me, of course, which it's a pretty likely thing that he would do. But I'm Imanari rolling. I'm getting to his toe, right? That bad toe of his, and I'm twisting on it, baby. I might even bite it, right? But I mean that would get me disqualified 100%. But I'm gripping onto that toe, right? I'm gripping it as hard as I possibly can, and I'm pulling it. I'm tugging it. I'm twisting it until this motherfucker taps out. He cries out in pain. I mean, I don't know if I could ever hear Alex Pereira crying out in pain in any circumstance, but he's crying out in pain, man, because of this brutal toe hold that I'm putting him in. And I'm twisting that thing until he just can't take it anymore, and he has to quit, right? Doctor stoppage, yeah? Doctor stoppage, one of the most brutal doctor stoppages of all time. It's questionable whether that's even legal or not. I mean, it might not even be legal to just grab somebody by the toe and start fucking with their toe, but that's what I'm doing, right? And if I get disqualified, then so be it, right? Then I at least am saved from the left hook of Alex Pereira, and I get to live to see another day. But other way around, right? I'm the first one in the UFC at 205 to beat Alex Pereira. I'd be a fucking tubby-ass 205er, though. I'd either be a big ball of muscle or just the tubbiest motherfucker. Like, I would look like DC, pretty much. DC at heavyweight, I would look like that at 205. I would just be a force to be reckoned with. I truly would, man. I would look at Chris Barnett, which would be fantastic. And then we get into the heavyweight champion of the world, and that is Jon Bones Jones. Oh, boy. How would I do this one? Now, picture this scenario in your heads, right? Picture this scenario. The fight starts. Jon Jones, he's on the prowl. He's staring me down. He's squatted down, right? We're walking towards the center of the octagon. I turn around. I go on all fours, right? I know what you're thinking. Isn't that a little bit gay? Yes, it is. And that's the point. I go on all fours. I present myself to him as such, right? Just like Channing Tatum in the movie This Is the End. If you've seen that, then that's exactly what I would do. I would turn around right away, present myself to him. He's thinking, what's going on here? Has he found my weakness? Well, yes, I have. Because now he's enticed, right? And believe me, like, I know you didn't see my face there, but you don't have to see my face to understand, what I'm packing back there. You know what I mean? It would be very enticing for him. I can promise you it would be extremely enticing. So Jon Jones, I could see him resisting for a solid 30 seconds to a minute. He might even think about coming in and taking a free rear naked, right? But at the back of his mind, he's thinking, God damn. You know what I mean? God damn. That's what he's thinking. So as he comes in to take what he believes is his in that moment, nope, I say, psych. So as he's trying to mount me, which I'm like, nah, dog, miss me with that gay shit, right? So then I roll under into a knee bar as he's trying to mount me, missing me with that, with all that gay shit from Jon Jones. Right, so he's fully fucking bricked up. This dude is bricked up to the max. He's wondering, what the fuck is going on right now, dude? I thought I was gonna get some. No, you're not, buddy. You're now in a knee bar, and I don't even let go when he taps. Right, he's tapping. Bong, break his leg. That's it. Game over for Jon Jones, and then he retires. And I'm the biggest hero in the MMA scene, man. I beat Jon Jones. I finally beat Jon Jones, right? And I believe that would be like the perfect like Cinderella storybook way to beat Jon Jones. You just bait him in and then you execute, and that's all, man. And that pretty much sums up how I would beat each and every UFC champion in the UFC. Obviously, redundant fucking statement, but I'm not gonna edit that out. It's UFC champs in the UFC, right? I would take every single one of them out, and I believe I have given irrefutable proof and evidence to suggest that I would take each and every single champ in the UFC out. If you disagree, let me know why you're wrong in the comment section below. If you agree, let me know why you're right in the comment section below. And anyway, guys, also, before I let you guys go, let me know in the comment section any other strategy that you would impose in order to beat every champion in the UFC. If you have any ideas that you would go for personally, of course, let me know once again. Anyway, guys, I appreciate you watching, and I'll see you on the next one.